I'm gonna tell you about how draining it was for me to breastfeed. Now, I don't resent my child. I don't resent breastfeeding. I actually am glad that I chose to go that route for 2 years straight. However, for me physically, it was draining me because I don't eat a lot of food. I don't overload my digestive system with a ton of food. So, with calories burning up like crazy, with calories like blitzing because I'm breastfeeding, making milk constantly, but I'm not keeping up with the caloric intake required. I was like super, super drained. The only thing I could do was make sure I had all my minerals and stuff because I ate so much. Jupiter was in Taurus when I was pregnant with both my daughters, and I was grubbing. So postpartum, yes. So once I had her and I kept breastfeeding, it helped me lose weight and stuff fast. Of course, because I'm not eating the same, of course. The hormones are still fluctuating down the first 3 months. And then after that first 3 months, I ended up losing way more weight than I expected to lose. I wanted to keep some because I'm small, like high school weight small. But it's not bad or whatever. It's just, I want to be more shapely or whatever as I get older. Even though I'm almost 40, I still feel like I'm like little girl size. But anyway, that doesn't matter. What the point is, breastfeeding was really draining the life out of me. And it was like my life force energy was going to her, which is a good thing. It's a blessing. However, when it came to my physical reality, my responsibilities, it was like I had to kind of go against the grain a little bit to make sure she had everything she needed, drain myself a bit. And then this is like my first full cycle without any breastfeeding being done or attempted to be done, and because I was too stressed out, so it kind of dried up eventually, which was my body saying, okay, you can't do this no more. So I listened and said, okay, you got to stop now too. So if I can't feed you, you can't eat. You know what I'm saying? You got to eat other foods now, which that's what they did, the greats, sciences and all them stuff. But the first cycle since no longer breastfeeding, it's like I feel like full bloom all over again. Like my energy is through the roof, and all this Aquarius energy as well. Going into Pisces, it's like I felt like this super zing of like being like tapped into energy because all that energy was going towards nourishing her, of course. But now that it's like 100% in me, and I'm not giving it out. I haven't had sex, so I'm not like, I wasn't giving anything out or giving anything freely to anybody. It was like I was able to keep all of my energy to myself and use it for whatever I wanted to do. And I've had a lot of energy, but I've also been making sure that I get equal rest. Getting equal rest. Because breastfeeding her for 2 years, it was super draining, but it forced me to get rest when I need it instead of listening to other people. So that's just my journey. Like, even if I was to have another child at this point, it's like I'm fully aware of how much energy that takes to do it solo. Solo. So I'm well aware now where areas I would need cushion or more safety in hindsight, because that I wasn't truly expecting things to go the way they did, even though I was already told that they would. Like, I was already given the energy of what it would be. And the soul already knows. It's just the human part of us, the ego part of us, that wants the comfort of going through different changes. But honestly, we was built for this. We came here for this specifically. So it's important to follow divine instruction and divine path, and not care about what other people say, because all of our journeys are different. We all meant to experience different things. So yeah, like, I just wanted to share that, like, I love breastfeeding. I love, being pregnant and having my children. Like that part of life to me in all forms, not just that form, but in all forms, that type of process is like what makes life worth living, you know? So to feel like I accomplished something like that after I breastfed my second oldest, my son, 6 months. And then my oldest daughter, I pumped because she didn't latch for a few months. But I gave her both. And then eventually he had both, but she never took anything other than my milk directly from me. I tried so many different times to get her to drink out of a cup or a bottle with a straw. Still because she would not do it. She would not do it. So I allowed her that for as long as I could, even with still trying to work and everything and go to school. But now that I'm finally back in my energy and stuff is balancing back out for me, energetically speaking, I'm like not as sensitive as I was while I was still breastfeeding her up to the second year point. I'm not as like needy of like attention or comfort as much as I was. Like I was super sensitive, that all that oxytocin, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now I get to balance all of that out with, the serotonin, energy going up. And then, we're about to change into a new season, so more sunlight, more going outside and things of that nature will really help me personally as well. But shout out to people who breastfeed. Shout out to people who did it for a month, 2 months, whatever. Don't beat yourself up about it. This world be pressuring us to not listen to, our inner nature. So it's divine rebellion when we do. Okay? So find something to divinely rebel against society about. That's essentially you protecting yourself and your lineage, your legacy. All right? Peace.